Ramanasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varadane Shri Rama Nama Varadana Unnamaiti Tata Shri Maheshwara Sutrani Ayun Rulrak Eong Ayauch Ayavarat Gan Nyamanga Nam Jabain Gadadash Jabagadash Kapha Cha 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 Tav Kapai Shashasar Hal Iti Mahashya Sutrani. Okay. So last time we just introduced this shloka, which is number 52. So Dvi Panchashattama shloka, which is Asasad Mithilam Sa Veshtayan Piritopavana Padapam Balaihi Pritirodham Sahishta Sapuri Stri Iva Kanta Paribhogamayatam. One more time. Asasad Mithilam Sa Veshtayan Piritopavana Padapam Balaihi Pritirodham Sahishta Sapuri Stri Iva Kanta Paribhogamayatam. Padacheda for us, Karthik, right?
Yes, Satishi. Asasada Mithilam Saha Veshtayan Piditopavana Padapam.
Correct.
Balaihi
yeah.
Pritirodham Asahishta Sa Puri Stri Iva Kanta Paribhogam Ayatam.
Correct. Now you want to try to do the Padavichara.
We have, I think, two Tinganta Padas, Asasada and Asahishta.
Asahishta. Who's the Karta of each of those?
Asasada is Saha.
But who is Saha?
The commentary is Dasharataha.
Dasharataha. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, very good, because that's also a good point, is that the Saha is a Sarvanama Shabdaha. It's a pronoun. It can stand for it. Of course, it is Pullinge Prathama Ekavachanam. So, this is not in the Shlokaha. Very beautifully, Malinatha clarifies that Saha Dasharataha. Okay. Alright, and what's the Karta of the other one? Asahishta. Sapuri. Okay.
Sapuri.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Now, how about the term Asasada?
It's a lit prayoga. Sad is the dhatu.
Okay. Sad is the dhatu. Which sutra do you want? What's the upasarga here? Okay, upasarga. So there is only one sutra we need basically. Which one is that? You want to finish it off for us? So I hope you're practicing these forms. I know we're spending some time on grammar, but this one now should be very easy for us. Let's see. When can you do this one? When for us? Can you do this one? When? Try.
No, I'll just listen. Thank you.
No, but okay, let me help you out. What is the first step when? So next time you can do these three steps for us when. First step is only dhatu plus lakara. Lakara is going to be lit, right?
Lit.
Lit, okay. Now second step when is remove the it letters of lit. Which are they? Halantyam.
Halantyam.
Then upadesha.
Okay.
And then but the thing is that even lakara should have been hit by lashakvatadhyate.
But it's not.
But it's not in it because of prayojana abhavat, and then the sutram lasya will be useless. Okay?
Yes,
so lasya. This is the second step. First step is dhatu lakara. Second step, anubandha lopaha. Right? So then it always becomes dhatu plus la. No matter what lakara it becomes la. So lakara eva avashishyate.
Right.
Then third step is tiptajji, etc. So what is that step over here? When we are looking at a third person singular form, prathama purusha ekavachanam, parasmapadi, parasmapadam.
Yes.
So what will be tiptajji, right?
Tip. Yes.
Tip. Okay. So this much you can do, right? Then the next step is that so this is 3478. Now the next step is that you have to see if there is any karyam in 3.4, lakara sambandhi adeshaha. is there in adesha for tip or parivartanam, any kind of change in tip based on the lit lakara itself. That's nitya karyam. That comes, that will all come with necessary. This 3-4 section is like a one group of sutras. Okay, somebody is echoing. Is it you, Ven? No matter.
Let me keep talking. See if you hear me. When I talk, you hear the echo. That has to be me.
No, it's not. You're not echoing while talking with somebody. Anyway, it's fine
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So 3478, below 3478 is all this group of sutras. They all go together. So they are all coming up to all this down here. So there one sutram is parasya padanam nal atus us thal atus nal vamaha, and since lit is parokshe lit, 99% is only Prathama Purusha Rupa.
Right. Right.
So therefore, only look at the first three, null, atus, us. So in this case, yatha sankham, so tip becomes null. And the Gita in the very first adhyaya, you have all three of them. The very first chapter, if you look at it, the beginning, of course, you have Dhritarashtra Uvacha, that is the null, become null. The tip becoming null, Uvacha, that akara at the end of Uvacha, that's null. Then on 114, you have Pradadmatuhu. You have the pratyaya atus over here, and atus, dadmatuhu, atus. The null atus, us. This is the atus. And then in the 18th shloka, you have the pratyaya us, dadmuhu. Okay, so all three are there in the very first 18 shlokas of Gita. You can get all three of them. Null, atus, us. So please mark the Gita. The very first Uvacha is null. Then pradadmatuhu is atus, dadmuhu is us. So okay, next step. So that was 3482, and now we got sad plus null. Okay, in the null, what are the 8 letters?
Lakara is halantyam.
And chutu.
And chutu is nakara.
Nakara. So pratyadi. So anubandha lope akaraha avashishyate. Anubandha lope akaraha avashishyate. So sad plus a. So this is the usual chutu halantyam. Okay, next step is do the abhyasa karyam. Because liti dhato ranabhyasasya. Liti dhato ranabhyasasya. Only pratyaya is there. You get anabhyasasya, means ekavaram. You do abhyasa one time. So now that's 618. So abhyasa means only ach takes abhyasa. And the adhika sutram is 611, which says ekacho dve prathamasya. Every sutram, please repeat at least 5 times. Ekacho dve prathamasya. Ekacho dve prathamasya. Ekacho dve prathamasya. It should ring in your brain all the time. Ekacho dve. That's the best use of your time in Vyakaranam. Repeat the sutras, and if you can remember the meaning, it's good. Ekacho dve prathamasya. Dhatoho anabhya. You can never go wrong doing this. You can never go wrong. Repeat the sutras of Panini. There is, of course, your meaning may not be exactly correct. What you understand is possible. You may not know the whole meaning. That's fine, But at least the sutram is correct. Liti dhatoho, liti dhator anabhyasasya. So, okay. So now only the ach takes abhyasa, the ekach bhagaha. So the akaraha and the on either side the house go with it becomes sad. Okay, sad. And now in the abhyasa bhagaha, we do the abhyasa karyani, which come at the end of 7.4. From 7.458 to the end of 7.4 is the abhyasa karyani, abhyasa bhage kartavyani karyani vidhiyante. You can say that. So now we have, what do we have in that? We don't try again. Abhyasaha.
Here we have to just
Haladishesha. So Adir hal shishyate, anye halaha lupyante. So, so hal adischet shishyate. If the hal has to be adi. So the sakara is adi, dakara is not. So now sa, sad, we do only one more sutra. When you want to give it a shot, what do you need? Tell me. I can give it to you. Tell me what operation you need now. So we need the form asa sada. We got asa sada. This is what we have right now. We have asa sada. So we need the
Dirgha.
dirgha ruddhi also will do. So sutram there is achonyiti. Sorry, atopadaya. Excuse me, atopadaya. Upadha akaraha will take the vriddhiradeshaha. So niti chapare. So this pratyaya. That's why the projanam of the na is in it to use these operations. So here we use haladishesha. I hope these are becoming second nature for you. Haladisheshaha. Now Karthik, question for you. Why did we not use the achonyiti, atopadhayaha before the abhyasa, liti dhatu abhyasa. Because it's a parakaryam to 618. What do you think, Karthik? What is the answer to that? It's parakaryam because when we had the null pratyaya itself, we have stud plus null. Right there, comes the atopadhaya.
Is it dvirvachaneyachi?
Very good. Dvirvachaneyachi. What does the sutram say? Dvirvachane. Let's go to that sutram. Let's finish this form first. So we got sa sada. So asa sada is now done. Begin upasarga. Upasarga is puthak padam. So you don't have to participate in any of this. Upasarga does not participate in any of this. So asa sada. Okay. So this is 72116. So dvirvachaneyachi. Dvirvachaneyachi. Let's see what it says. Where would that be, Karthik? Dvirvachaneyachi.
After the achuk parasmin purva vidava.
So correct. So which is 159 maybe? 59.
Yeah,
159. Now, what the Sutram is saying then is that 1159 is that Dvirvachane kartavye. When we had to do this abhyasa karyam, then ajnimittam ajyadeshahan kartavya. If there's an ajyadesha to be done, any kind of guna or vruddhi, any of these operations, any adesh in place of an ajja, like lopa also, for example, that should not be done vitve kartavye. If that's dvitvam has to be done, that takes precedence. If you look at the vritti, dvitva nimitte achi. It should be an ach. In our case, what do we have? We have the akara of null. Again, ach means you remove the it letters, okay? So, anubandha lope. Akaraha vidyate. So, dvitva nimittakaha akaraha. I mean, this is the akara which is trying to cause dvitvam because liti dhatoram abhyasis. This is lit pratyaya. So, dvitvam depends on this ach. So, okay, so dvitva nimitte achi. Achaha adeshaha. In place of an ach, don't do an adesha. Dvitve kartavye. Dvitve kartavye. Right? So that is the rule. So just a quick example. Okay, Karthik, for you. Let's say we take a dhatu gam, right? Dhatu gam plus let's say tas becomes atus. What will happen here, Karthik? Why do we need a rule over here? Gam plus atus. I'm looking at the dvivachanam or the prathama purusha dvivachanam. What sutram is coming here? Okay, asanyoga litkitam. Asanyoga litkitam. Become a kit pratyaha. Then what will happen? Then you'll get the 6498 will come. 6498 will come. It says gamahana janakhana ghasam lopaha kinityanangi. If you have the radi, kitnit pratyaya 6498, then you get a lopa adesha for the akara. There will be no ach left after that. There will be no ach left. How we cannot do abhyasa? There will be no ach left. So it says gama hana jana khana ghasam upadhaya lopa ajado kiniti pratyaya. So so these kind of situations, to avoid this kind of situation, do not do the ajyadeshaha. So abhyas nimittaka ach when you have, you don't do the ajyadeshaha in the angam. Ditve kartavye. So only after doing dittam, then only you do the ajyadeshaha. So in our case, it would not make much of a difference. Even if you read atopadhayaha, you go back and become rasa. So in many cases, it will not make a difference. But dvitva nimitte achi, achaha adesho na dvitve kartavye. I think it might be you. Somebody is making noise. I think it might be you, Ven.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
Please. Okay, anyway, it's on the side only. So that one, because of 1159, this 72116 had to wait, even though it is parakaryam. Subtle point, but if you just want to make a note of it. So only sutram here we use was really atopadhayaha, which is, there was no special rule over here. No special rule for dhatu sad. Okay, let's go ahead, Karthik. Let's move ahead. So now what's the next thing? Asasada, mithilam. What is mithilam?
Dvitiya ekavachana.
Dvitiya ekavachana, sita, ramavat, latavat shabdaha. The only amipurvaha, nothing special over here, mithilam. Even the special rules, please practice in your mind. Amipurvaha. If you have an ak, followed by the ach of which is the akarha, pura parayoho, ekadesha, pura rupam ekadesha. Mithilam. Then saha. Now, what is sandhi rule over here, Karthik? Why this? Why not become like Namo Narayanaya? Because you have such
a yes, etat tadoho sulopo akoranan samase hali.
Very, I'm impressed. Very. What number will that be?
Number I'm not sure.
Maybe 130. Maybe 6 it is. 132. Etat tadoho sulopo akoranyang samase hali. If you want to simplify this sutram, you can forget about the akoho. Anyang samase, it's very rare situation that they have those. So simply stated, etat tadoho sulopaha hali. Etat tadoho sulopo hali. Or if you remember the whole sutram, etat tadoho sulopo koranyang samase hali. Sulopo koranyang samase hali. Okay, so that's important sutram. This sutram is used many times all over the place because this eshaha and saha are very common forms. And anytime you have hal following, they'll drop the visargaha. I mean the sakara, I should say, not visarga, but sakaraha. Because the sakara never got a chance to become sasajusho ruhu. Those rules never came in. In the Sapada Sapta Jai itself, the sutram removes that sakaraha of the sulopaha, only the prathama ekvachanam of etad and tad, which means what? Eshaha, eshas and sas. They lose their sakaraha, hali parataha. Okay, so practice these rules, please. We have limited time in the class, but you can please practice these rules. Okay, saha dasharathaha is given, so spashtikritam vyakhyane. Smulinatha already has given dasharathaha. Okay, veshtayan. What's the commentary? Any veshtayan? Paridhi kurvan. Okay, now let's see what dhatu could this be from.
Wish.
Dhatu, I think, vesht.
Oh.
Where do you get takara from, Karthik, if dhatu is vish?
Yeah.
So dhatu is, I think, vesht. Vesht. So vesht. I think like vesht is like we will use, I think, with the word veshti and all that. So vesht is to encircle, is to cover up. So if dhatu vesht is okay, so veshtane. This is look at this one. Veshtane. If you don't know what waste means, how do you know what veshtane means? Anyway, it means to cover up, to surround, encircle, to wrap up. So veshtane. Now, what else is happening here? Veshtayan. What kind of form is this, Karthik?
We have a niche in there.
There must be a
niche.
Shatrupatya. First of all, dhatu veshtane is apnipadi dhatu because veshtate, vi veshte, veshtita, etc., etc. So then he gives veshtayati. Here it is. Veshtayati. So this he gives this form. So veshtayati. So this is veshtayati is given by Saranacharya. So what happened in dhatu is atmanipadi dhatu. But because which sutram you are using to make the parasya padam then, Karthik? Nichashcha. Nichashcha sutram. Because when the nich pratyaya comes, then dhatu basically becomes ubhayapadi. So in nijanta, as a general rule, nich after nich you can get parasya padam or atmanipadam, regardless of what the shuddha dhatu was. So with the usual caveat that really it should be, Atmanepadam should be used only Kartravipraya Kriya Phale. So if the fruit of action accrues to a doer, then you should use Atmanepadam. Otherwise, Parasmanepadam, but the distinction is not followed in the language as such. So my favorite Gita example is what? Ye pachanti atmakaranat. So chapter 3 of Gita, Ye pachanti atmakaranat. The shloka itself says atmakaranat. It says, the shloka itself says that. Svashtikritam shloke eva. Tathapi, Parasmanepadam prayujyate. So in spite of the fact that shloka itself says, Ye pachanti atmakaranat. For themselves they are cooking. Then the dhatu pach you can use either one. Still they are using ye pachanti. So now what's the use of this, this Kartravipraya Kriya Phale? So as a practical matter in the language, this part, this Kartravipraya Kriya Phale is not really honored. So we can simply say Nichascha makes them basically, Ubhayapari dhatus. So, okay. Now, coming back to the shloka, so you will finish the form for us, Karthik. So, Veshtayan. And the key here is the aya. As I mentioned to you, to recognize the niche being in there is the aya. Like again, let's go back to Gita chapter 3. In the very beginning, he says, Buddhim mohaya sivame. Buddhim mohaya sivame. As if you are confusing me. So, mohaya, see this, again, this aya. So, aya. So, this aya, what is this aya? Aya is simply there's no pratyaya like aya. The niche takes gunaha becomes a, followed by shap. Echo yava yavaha becomes becomes aya. So that is what we are talking about. So that is this easy way to tell. Might be a niche pratyaya in there. So we state the dhatu. So let's first here to add the hetumati niche 3126. Vesht becomes veshti. So veshti gets the dhatu sanya by sanadyanta dhatavaha. So Veshti we use 3126 and then by 3126 means hetumaticha. Hetumaticha is that when you have somebody who is instigating, who is propelling, that's the hetu, is prayojakaha. So kartuhu prayojakaha, who is propelling the agent, then you use pratyaya niche. So he is the karta of the action. The karta of this this causative action is the hetu. Okay, now let's do it quickly, Karthik. In this shloka, who was the original karta? Ani karta was whom over here? Who was the
Saha?
So Saha is now in Samajikaranam with the Dasharatha. How about Balaihi? Balaihi Tritiya, no?
Yeah.
That is the one. That is the one. So he was encircling. He was causing Mithila to be encircled, to be wrapped up by the army. What would be the Ani Avastha? So, Balani Mithilam Veshtante. What we're doing is we're removing the niche pratyaya over here. We're trying to see what would have been the avastha before the hetu Dasharatha came into the picture. What would be the avastha? Is the armies cover or surround Mithila? Now came Dasharatha. He says he caused Mithila to be sieged by the armies. Okay, so always if you can look at the hetumati niche, try to remove the niche pratyaya and go to the ani avastha, be clear in your mind of who was the karta before the prayojakaha, the hetu came in. So, and that karta will be either now in tritiya or maybe in dvitiya. This will be our next step now. Next step is what happens to the ani karta when the hetu comes in. Because, okay, let's leave that thought for time. Let's complete this form first, the straightforward form. So now Veshti plus, so this gets to dhatu. So let's finish the form. We'll go back to the karaka now. But by sanadyanta dhatavaha, dhatu sanya, and then we add the pratyaya lat. Lat. So, and then we get Latashatrishana cha va prathama samanadikarane. Well, this is some Prathama Samadhikarane, isn't it? So, but sometimes you can also use Samadhikarane, because the shloka is a very little bit of strange shloka, I mean sutram I should say. This I'm talking about 3.2.123, 124. 3.2.123 is Vartamane Lat. Next sutram is Latashatrishanacha Prathama Samanadhikarane. Let can take the adesh of Shatru or Shanach, of course, depending on the dhatu is Atmanepadi or Parasnepadi. You can say that, because less Parasnepadam, Tangana Atmanepadam. So as a default, any la adesha should be Parasnepadam, but Tanga is after Parasnepadam, but Tangana Atmanepadam. The Tang and An, so which is the Ta Atam Sha, Tha Sa Tham Dham, Id Vahi Mahi, and the An, which is the Shana Chikra, the Atmanepadam. So that's what we depend on which word is, which is Prathama Samadhikarane. But right now we do have Prathama Samadhikarana, don't we? Because it says Veshtayan. This is the Prathama Ekvachanam Pullinge, qualifying Dasharataha. So now what can we do? Because Sutram says Prathama Samadhikarane. So we can either take this, there is a Lat is already coming, Anuvritti is coming down. Then why does Panini again have to say Lataha? So Tena Vijñayate, by that we know that Lat iti Vartamane Punar Lat Grahanam. Punar Lat Grahanena Jñayate Kvachit Prathama Samadhikarane Api. Means that even Prathama Samadhikaranam is there, to still use once in a while. Either that, or you have to use Lakshana Hetavoho Priyayaha. So we maybe try to use that. One of these two have to be used in some way, try to fit it. Okay, so this thing, even though it is there, don't worry about it too much, the Aprathama Samadhikarane, because that may be violated. In Gita, favorite shloka in Gita, Ajopi san navyatma, Bhutanam Ishropi san, Prakritim samadhisthaya, Sambhavam Yatmamaya, Yada Yada Dharmasya Grani Bhavati Bharata. Right? So that is come Ajopi san. The sun is a Prathama Ekavachanam. Ajopi san navyatma, Bhutanam Ishropi san. In those places we may have to, you can fit it in 3.2.126 if you can, otherwise you have to use 124 itself with the excuse that Lat was coming in, Lat was again mentioned. So yes, okay, 3.2.124 sutram for that. So now we get, we use 3.2.123 for Vartamane Lat. Now 3.2.124 we get Veshti plus Shatru. Shatru, what are the 8 letters, Karthik? Shatru?
Shakara by Lashakwatadhite and Rukara by Upadeshe Janmasika.
Anubandha Lope At. Okay. What's the next step?
Tingshit Sarvadhatukam and Kartari Shap.
Kartari Shap. So Shap Pratyaya comes in there. So Veshti and Shap also Halantam Lashakwatadhite. So you're going to get the form, the same form. We get, let me take this down here. So you're going to get, okay, Veshti plus you're going to get the Shap Pratyaya in here, Anubandha Lope A. So that's obvious to you now. So we get, now what's the next step?
This Sarvadhatuka.
Yes, Sarvadhatuka, Ardhatuka, Yoho, Gunaha. So that Ikar or Nich is going to take Gunaha. Now I'm going to get Veshte plus A plus At. Veshte plus A plus At. So okay, let me make it Veshte. Alright, and then Echo Yavayava, right?
Echo Yavayava and Atogune.
And Atogune, yes, very good. So this I use 738. Please practice this prakriya. It's kind of straightforward now for most of you, but practice this. Sarvadhatuka Ardhatuka Yoho. Then Echo Yavayavaha. Atogune between this akara and this akara. Atogune. Okay. Come Veshta Yat. We take this whole thing here. We're going to use Echo Yavayavaha and then Atogune to make it Veshta Yat. Okay, so we use 6178. We also use 6197. Okay, 197. Again, I hope you're not finding sutras boring, because as I mentioned to you, there's really no way to get very good in this language without knowing Pani Sutra. As we spend a lot of time in the class, because I could just read, I wouldn't know what I could do for you. I could just keep on reading just like that and say, okay, Veshchayan is Nich Pratyaya, and this causative form, okay, boom, we are done. Veshchayan means answer. We can go like that very fast. We can do that too. But that you can get from other books also. What we do in this class is that we try to get you firm grounding. So there's no other way. This is the shortest cut. There's no other shorter cut than this. These Pani Sutras that you have to know. Okay? So I know you're thinking it takes a long time for us to do all slokas. I understand that. But we can go faster after maybe a few months, after, we get some more. Because I can just say Nich, I can just say, Hetumati, and I then say, Echo Yava Ato Guna, and just move on. But I think, for the short time, let's do this in detail so we can, know we are everybody following what we are saying. So, next step, Veshtayat Praspatya Su. So this gets the Padipadika Sanya Vakrit Tadita Samasascha. So the Pratyaya Shatru, Shatru was added, Krit Pratyaha. So then you get Padipadika Sanya, then, Veshtayat plus Su. What do you do this, Karthik, steps quickly?
Ugitacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho.
Ugitacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho. That's how I know this, because I heard it from my teacher like 1,000 times. So they should ring in your head, Ugitacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho. Ugitacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho. Ugitacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho. Ugitacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho. What does that mean? Ugit. Uk as in it. Uk means, of course, ayan looks the u, ugit. So, uk as in it, which we had back here. So, that's why it's important to know what each letter was. Ugit, acham, dhatu, anchu, which we don't have here. Ugit, acham, sarvanamasthane, which is what system do you use for that, Karthik? Sarvanamasthane, yeah.
Shri Sarvanamasthanam Sudanapumsakasya.
Yeah, Sudanapumsakasya. 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 So if it's not Napumsakam, which we don't have, this is qualified Dasharataha. This is Pullinga Rupam. So Sut, so just some out. These 5 get the Sanya Sarvanamasthanam. These are very, very, Sanya Prakaranam should be mastered very nicely. In fact, somebody told me, I think I mentioned to you one time that at Harvard University, they had a course which they only did the Sanya Prakaranam in the first part. People are saying, what's the use of the Sanya Prakaranam? So because once you get beyond Sanya Prakaranam, you know all these Sanyas. Then you can quickly, because if you don't know what Sarvanamasthana is, again you're going back to Sanya Prakaranam all the time. So it's very worth getting Sanyas down, Of course, you know the Sanyas, you know a little bit basics of where you need them. But it is very nice to, and in fact, they also memorize these Sanyas like that, these sutras. So next quarter when they came back, or semester, it was all very fast once they knew that. So okay, so that gets the Sarvanamasthana Sanya, and now we make Numagamaha. In Numagamaha, of course, we have the Halantyam Upadesha Junanasik It, in Vidachonthyat Paraha. Vidachonthyat Paraha. I think even Raja was mentioning that today. So then we get, let me copy this. So we're going to get the Numagamaha in there. Vidachonthyat Paraha. Vidachonthyat Paraha. So we become Veshta Yant, like that, okay? So this we have used 7170. Ugidacham Sarvanamasthane Dhatoho. And then we have used 140. Paribhasha Sutram. What is the Paribhasha Sutram? It only tells you how to interpret other rules. It sends like the ground rules for interpreting other rules. Doesn't do any vidhi, doesn't give any sanya. It's not adhikara either. It's not apavada, atideshaha, or any like niyamaha. It only is like a manual, operations manual, how to interpret, how to apply other rules. Okay, so this 147 is simply saying vidacho mit achaha antyat paraha. So mit agamaha, agama is more than it, goes after the last ach, antyat achaha. After the last ach, paraha. After that. So it doesn't do any adesh, nothing is doing. All it's saying, if an agama comes, which has more than it, then put it after the last ach of the term which is going to. That's all it is doing. This is what's called a paribhasha sutram. Paribhasha. Again, Pani doesn't give all paribhashas. some of them have to be inferred from his work. So that is one of the main topics of research, which is how to interpret what Panini means. And in the main text for Paribhasha is Paribhashendu Shekhara of Nagesha Bhatta. There are only about 100 odd Paribhashas, very fantastic work, many commentaries, many commentaries on that. So Paribhashendu Shekhara, so which is not explicitly said by Panini. Nagesha has put, of course, he only collected these Paribhashas, so he's put them in there. Paribhashendu Shekhara. In this Kashika edition of this Ramlal Kapoor Trust, which is almost error-free, that I like to use, the Paribhasha numbers are the ones which are given in Paribhashendu Shekhara. Okay. So Veshtayan plus Su, we got the Numagamaha. Okay, now let's finish it, Kartik. So now we will get the Upadesha Jananasika It, then what? Halni Abyo Dirgha. And then Sanyogan. And Asiddhatvat Nalopo Nabhavati. Asiddhatvat, because then you cannot do Nalopo Pradipadhikantasya because of the fact that you already applied 8223. So what I'm saying is that first we applied, of course, Upadesh Ajuna Nasika It, remove the Ukara of Su, and then we did Halniyabhyo Dirgha Suti Siya Pruktam Hal. Please repeat many times. Halniyabhyo Dirgha Suti Siya Pruktam Hal. So 168. Then we did Sanyogantasya Lopaha. Tasya Lopasya Siddhatvat Na Lopo Na Bhavati. Which means that we already applied 8223. We cannot Purvatra Siddham. We cannot go back to 827. We cannot go back. What is 827 saying? Nalopas Pradipadikantasya. If you have a Nakara, which is Pratipadikanta Nakaraha. Then also it has a Padanta Nakaraha also. So if it's Nakara which is at the end of a Padam, and that Nakara belongs to Pratipadikam. So tasya Nakara Lopasyat. Atra Nalopa Praptaha. Asiddhatvat na bhavati. Because the Nalopa is because Veshtayan, the Agama Num came inside the Pratipadikam. Yad Agama Sadguni Bhavati. It goes and it becomes a part and parcel of that. The Nakara was not originally in the word Veshtayat, but the Agama came in there. That also counts. Then that Nakara, the Paribadi Nakara, and Suptingantam Padam. So because of Pratyaya Lope, Pratyaya Lakshanam. Even a simple thing, like how many concepts are involved, How many concepts are involved in simple thing like this? Because you have to get Pratyaya Lope, Pratyaya Lakshanam. So the entire Supratyaya went away, but left the Lakshanam behind. Why do you need that? To get Suptingantam Padam. So, and so that's the, so this Veshtayan, the Nakara is the Padanta Nakara, Pradipadika Nakara. But because we use Sanyogantasya Lopaha, remove the Takaraha. As far as 827 is concerned, the Takara is still there. So Takara Lopaha Asiddha in terms of 827. So it cannot operate because it still thinks the Takara is still there. It cannot remove the Nakara anymore. Okay. So Veshtayan. Okay, now coming back to the Kalika Prakaram now. So the Ani Avastha was what? Balani. This is a very good exercise. This is a very good exercise for you to do. Nich Pratyaya is very common. It comes in many places. Now you have to be able to, in fact, let's go to Gita example, which you just quoted, the Gita example, we just saw that. Let's go there 1 minute. So very quickly, Kartik, can you do the Ani Avastha over here? So Vyamishyadeva Vachena Buddhim Mohayasi Vame. Mohayasi. Mohayasi means the Pratyaya Sip has been used. Sip has to be the Pradipadikam Yushmad. Yushmad and has to be Ekvacham. Remember, the second person, the only Yushmad can become the Abhihita by that. The first person always Asmad. Everything else is third person language. So because when you say Mohayasi, it has to be Tvam Mohayasi. Anya Paryaya Nasti. There's no other way out. So there's no need to say Tvam. Because when you say Sip, it can only be connected with Yushmat. It can only be Ekvachanam. So when you say Mohayasi, it automatically implies Tvam Mohayasi. So Tvam is the Hetuhu. Tvam is the Hetuhu. Because he is the one connecting with the Nijantam. With the Nijantam Padam, which is the Mohayasi. Who is the Anikarta here?
Buddhi.
What is Aniyavastha?
Buddhi, more.
Sorry, no, wrong. No, Buddhi is not Anikarta.
Oh, Vakyam.
Vakyam. So Vakyam, what is the thing then? Mohayasi vame. It's interesting thing, Karthik. Interesting thing now what's going on over here. Let's think about it. So what will be the Aniya? If you say Vakyam, right? Then what will be the Aniyavastha then? Because dhatu, see the interesting dhatu muh is going to be a akarmaka dhatu. The buddhi mujyate or mujyati, right? So it is not like when you mean to be deluded with your dhatu. So I think we opened a can of worms over here. Okay. Then let us look at dhatu muh first of all. Dhatu muh. So
I think Vakyam will be the Karana and Buddhi will be the...
Yeah. Could be, yes. But Vakyam could also be a niche on top of niche, maybe with the two of them, maybe. So, okay, we don't make it too complicated. We'll take what you said. Because what I'm saying is that there could be another karta behind the hetu, another hetu, right? So the Vakyam is causing Buddhi to be deluded. Sri Krishna is causing the Vakyam to cause Buddhi to be deluded. Could be. Or could be that the Vakyam is, I said, Karanam. So by means of that, he's deluding the Buddhi. So, depends on the vivaksha of the speaker finally. So let's see Mujyati. Let's see what it is. So let's see the form in Dhatu Muh. What happened to this one? Oh no. This Dhatu Vritti Mujyati. This is more right here. Okay. No. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought my Dhatu Vritti is not working anymore. Let me try reopening this one. Dhatu Vritti. Okay. Okay. Let's try again. It was working a minute ago. Not working anymore. Look at that. Just the dhatu muh caused the entire dhatu which got muha. Anyway, it's okay. I'll look it up in my paper edition. It is, let's see. I'm just thinking if it's the ubhay parasya for the opposite for the dhatu. What we can also do is that we can go to a dhatu pata right here. Let's see what it brings. Muh. Okay, divadi, anit, ved dhatu, parasya pari. So mujyati. Okay, mujyati. So mujyati, so buddhir mujyati is that, it is the intelligence is confused. But tvam vakyena, take it karanam for the time being, karanam, so vakyena, buddhim mohayasi. Now the interesting thing that is that in this sentence, in this vakyam, we had the buddhim becoming dvitiya now. The anikarta became dvitiya, buddhim. While in our sentence in the Raghuvamsham kavyam, now we have that balaihi became tritiya. So, Karthik, what caused the difference now?
By default, we should have tritiya by kartrukaranayo tritiya.
Correct, kartrukaranayo. Because remember the anikarta still has kartrutvam. He can still decide whether he should do even though he's being instigated, propelled by the hetu, he still has some swatantriyam. So he can still decide. So tasya kartrutvam napagacchati. So what Karthik is saying is that by the sutram kartukaranayo sthitiya, he's now become anabhita. Anabhita means the connection with the verb is not there. The connection with the verb is clearly with Dasharataha. Dasharataha veshtayan. This balaihi is not in connection with the verb. This ekavachanam has come because of Dasharataha. Clearly not because balaihi is anyway bahuvachanam. Same thing in this Gita shlokaha, we had the mohayasi is with Sri Krishna. Tvam mohayasi. Not with buddhi, because buddhi is pratham purusha, third person. So now what Karthik is saying by 2.3.18, we should have had the tritiya, kartukarnayo tritiya. Okay? But now how did the buddhi become tritiya?
I think it's because of the akarmaka dhatu, mukh is akarmaka, so we get tritiya.
1, 4, 52, 53. Please remember these two sutras, 1, 4, 52, 53. They tell what happens to the anikarta when the nich comes in, when the hetu comes in. By default, titiya, because it is still the karta, but sometimes it gets the karma sanya. So gati buddhi pratyavasanartha shabda karma karmakanam anikarta sarnav. One more time. Gati buddhi pratyavasanartha. So if in a dhatu, artha means you can also take the samanartha dhatava api griyante. So any dhatu in the sense of gati, going, buddhi, understanding, pratyavasana, so says eating, drinking, shabda karma, means like adhyapanam, teaching, in akarmaka dhatu, anikarta sa now. So the karta which was there before the hetu came in the non-causative, state, whatever the karta was, he will now get the karma sanya, become karmani dvitiya for these dhatu involved. Next sutram says rukro anyatarasyam, rukroho anyatarasyam. Dhatu ru and kru anyatarasyam optionally. There are many vartikams on these two sutras, and sometimes, but in English, by the way, in English, what happens, Karthik? English, it always karma sanya. So I do something. The teacher makes me do something. So that I, which was there in the ani avastha, always becomes me. Like I read something. The teacher makes me read something. No matter what dhatu you have, I wash my clothes. The teacher makes me wash my clothes. So it doesn't matter what dhatu it is. In English, sarvatra karma sanya bhavati. Anikartuho sarvatra karma sanya bhavati. But here, Panini is saying only for these dhatus only. Like in the next one says, rukroho anyatarasyam, like dhatu kru, very important dhatu, right? You say, so dasaha karyam karoti, the servant does his work. But you say nataha, swami, dasena, athva dasam, karyam karayati. So the master, the owner gets the work done by the master, by the servant. So it almost becomes like a passive in English, It's English passive. He gets it done by him. So which one now? When buddhi, when we had akarmaka, muh, akarmaka we use because buddhi muhyati. So the intelligence is confused. Now, Sri Krishna Arjunasya buddhim mohayati, or rather tvam mohayasi. So you make it confused because it was a akarmaka dhatu muh. Therefore, the anikarta to the karma sanya. What do we have right now in Raghuvamsha? We have balani veshtayanti. They wrap, they encircle. So, it is not fitting in this list. Gati buddhi pratyavasanartha, then shabda karma akarmakana. It is not really going anywhere. The wrapping, then buddhi, understanding, pratyavasana, eating, drinking, shabda karma, like reading the Vedas and all that, is not there. Akarmaka clearly not there. Why not akarmaka? Because karma is here. Mithilam is here. Mithilam is clearly here. It's not akarmaka. So mithilam. So that's why we now go back to 2.3.18, which is the usual default kartukarnayos tritiya. So this, anyway, Balani was the anikarta. He went to tritiya because he's no longer abhihita by this Shatrupatya. But now the Dasharath abhihita means that who's connecting with the verb, So this niche is inside here, and this niche, nijantam, is connecting with the Dasharatha, no longer with Balaihi. So now he is free to move around because once you become abhihita, generally you get prathama vibhakti. The item which is connecting with that verb, that will become prathama. But this is, so here this is not connected with this one, so it became balaihi veshtayan. Okay, so I hope you followed this to this. So In the document, we can put like this. In the document, you can say that, so balaihi, so balani was the anikarta. Anikarta. Anikarta means the non-causative state, anikarta. Kartru, I should say. Kartru. Sorry, kartru. What's the plural of this one? Kartik, kartru, if you want to make bahuvachanam, what will you have?
Kartru, karta, kartaro, kartaraha. Oh, balani will be kartruni.
Kartruni, very good. Kartruni. So, kartruni. So they are the non-causative doers. And because of 2-3-18, we got balaihi. Balaihi because of the fact that the usual 2-3-18, because we did not get the 1-4-52-53. So this is what I want to highlight in this whole discussion, is these two, 1-4-52-53. So these are the ones you can always check. You can go through all the Gita and check all the causative forms and see what happened to the anikarta. And you can then, of course, you have the answer in front of you. In front of you, the answer is already there. You have either Dvitiya or you have Tritiya. Dvitiya means karma sanya ke, karmani Dvitiya. So all the answers are all in front of you. So okay, let's go back. So
Satish,
yes,
two questions on Veshtayam.
yes,
When you derived it,
yes.
the Sakara Lopaha takes Lopaha by Aputtam Pal, is it? And the Takara Lopaha is because of the
Sanyogantas lopa. Sanyogantas lopa.
Samyogantasya Lopa.
The Sakar lopa is by Halni Abhyo 616. So this one is by 6168. And then the Takara by Sanyogantasya lopa, correct. Because only, Su TC. So on this is Su is there. And this the Halni Abhyo is in the Sapa Sapta Jihai. So that will apply first. Then only you can go to 8-23 and do Takar lopa after that.
And the Nakara does not take a Lopaha because it is not Padanta.
Because it is Padanta, but the Sutram 8-7 cannot see the Takar lopaha. Because 8-23 is a later rule in the Tripadi, right? 8-23 Sanyogantasya lopaha is a later rule.
Is it part of the Pratyalope Pratyakshanam or as it is?
No, Purutra Siddham.
Purutra Siddham.
Purutra Siddham, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
And the next question is, when you did the Anikarta, when
yes.
you want to say the Senani or Balani did this,
yes.
Then what is the verbal form of Veshtayam?
Veshtante.
Veshtante. Oh.
It means they cover. Veshtante.
Veshtam. Not Veshtyante, but Veshtam.
No, because there's no Yakara. The niche is gone now.
Yeah.
You go Shuddha Dhatu. Vesht only. Veshtante. That's all.
Yeah, sorry. It was not clear to me. That's right.
Yeah, Veshtante. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so now, let's continue, Karthik. So, Sainyaihi. Now, how about this one? Piditopavana padapam. No commentary. No commentary. No commentary. Okay, because how do you know Bahubari come? Because Padapaha Vrikshaha is a Pullinga, actually it's actually a Visheshanam, but it is used in the sense of Vrikshaha Taruhu. So it's going to be a Pullinga Ramavat Shabdaha. It became Padapam, Linga Parivartanam. Tena Nyayate Iyam Ayam Bahuvrihi Samasa iti. Because it will not change gender like that unless something is, it became Anya Pada Pradhanatvam. It's qualifying Mithilam now. Okay. Now can you, let's do Padapa first, Karthik. Let's see if you can do it. Special prize for Karthik today. I'll be impressed, Karthik, if you can do this one for me. So you say Pada, so Padena Pibati iti Padapaha. From that, what kind of samasa did you know from this, Karthik? Padena Pibati iti Padapaha.
It's a Upapada Samasa.
Upapada Samasa, very good. Now, the dhatu is clearly Pa Pane. Okay. Now, what pratyaya do you want? If you can order pratyaya, which one would you order here to get the karyam done? So padena pibati iti padapaha.
Maybe something like the because we need a lopa
Of the akaraha.
uh,
So which one do you say? What pratyaya do you want?
is there any pratyaya like the which will cause the diti tehe lopaha by diti?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, that could be. But we are not in the bhasyadikara. So you don't want to use that vartikam unless you need it. The apestate lopaha. Don't want to use because that's 64143. Angama should get bhasanya for that. That's only swadishu sarvanamasthani. Bhasanya. I mean the yachibham. Correct? You know what I'm talking about, Karthik?
Yeah.
Use tehe. This is in the bhasyadikara. So since you are giving you the full freedom to order what you want, don't go for the vartikam yet. Let's try to use something which will do without that extension. So, what I'm saying is that Karthik wanted a pratyaya da, but the pratyaya da will require to use 64143 tehe. Now tehe is in the bhasyadikara, technically speaking. So but sometimes we extend that because of the anubandhakarana samarthyat. So T lopaha with the pratyaya does and it, the T lopaha takes place. But that should really technically have the bhasanya. Bhasanya only comes swadishu because when a pratyaya in the su adi, which is from 412 onward, doesn't include all the dhatoho. So any kut pratyaya will not be swadi. What else can you use, Karthik?
Maybe ka ato lopa iti again.
Ato lopa iti, you got it. Pratyaya is ka. Lashakvatadite ato lopa iti cha. So 6464 will do it for us. Okay, we will do it. Now in the beginning itself, first of all, what is the default pratyaya for this system? When you say padena pibati iti. So it says pada, right? Plus, what will there be any pratyaya which you can use? Because if your karma was there, then you can use the karmanya. But that we don't have karma because it's karana. Padena pibati. So I'm talking about 3 to 1 karmanyan. Only karmani. Now supi comes. What we need, supi. Any supi is saptami. Tatra upapadam saptami stham. If upapada is sup, then only for the dhatu stha, the pratyaya ka can be used. Hridayastham devam, hridayastham, bhumistha. So all these can be used, stha, buddhistha. So now, we don't have stha. So what we do, Karthik, is that is a vartikam on this. You do the yoga vibhagaha. Is you remove that supi and take stha separate. So if you look at Kashika, in fact, Kashika has example of padapa in that. The Kashika vritti under 3 to 4, I think it's 3 to 4, I think, supistaha. Very, very famous sutram, supistaha is when you have any sup, means it doesn't have to be karma, any karma, karana, whatever you have. So, and then if you have the dhatu stha, pratyaya ka can be used. So, it says, what does Kashika say? Atra yoga vibhaga kartavyaha supi iti. Which means that if any sup is upapada, then any dhatu which is akarantaha. Where do you get that from? The prior sutram. Ato nupasarge kaha, ataha. So now what he's saying is that, what Kashika is saying is that, atra yoga vibhaga kartavyaha supi iti, supi means upapade sati, akarantebhya, sarvebhya akarantebhya dhatubhya, ka pratyaya bhavati, dvabhyam pibati dvipaha, padapaha, padana pibati iti padapaha. You do yoga vibhaga of 3 to 4. So because these things you have to know. I know I'm going in details because sometimes in the tika kara will say supi iti yoga vibhagat kaha. Now you're saying what in the world is talking about? What does he mean by that? Because he will not mention sutram also. He says supi iti yoga vibhagat kaha. So you have to know what they're talking about. This is a very famous sutram, supistaha. And it's also yoga vibhaga also is given by the vyakhyanam. So you should know not only supistaha, should also know yoga vibhaga also should be known to you. Okay, so this is lesson for Karthik today for you. So, yoga vibhaga of supistaha. Okay. Just when you remember that. So okay. So now we can do it. Because so what's the vigraha? What is the alaukika vigraha vakyam we want to make?
Pada plus ta.
Yeah.
Pa
Plus pa
plus
ka.
ka.
And now you have to use the 3, 2, 4.
Supo dhatu pratipadikayoh.
Yeah, with so 3, 2, 4 by yoga vibhagaha. Supi iti yoga vibhagaha. So this is the important thing. Supi iti yoga vibhagaha. So we have to do yoga vibhagaha means this is a technique which should not be used by us. This is the last resort. When Panini rules don't get you the form that you want, sometimes you have to extend them. Means you split them up and then you push in. You can introduce things which are not otherwise possible to be introduced. Again, asmakam vyakhyanam sharanam is that you have to go to vyakhyanam and the bhashyam. They've all done yoga vibhaga, so we should not do yoga vibhaga at all on our own. If it only has the shishta sammatihi, then only we should do it. So which is of course the Mahabhashyam. Supit yoga vibhagaha. Okay, and then the usual things we get the pradipadika sanya by Krittadisa samasascha 1 to 46. Supo dhatu pradipadika yoho. Then in the pratyaya ka lashakvatadjite. Then akara. So what we after doing all that, we will get pada plus pa plus a. So pada. So this one is taking supo dhatu pradipadika yoho. 2471. We mentioned this many times in the class. This one is going to become lashakvatadjite akaraha. And finally, we have, so what I've done is that we did 1 to 46 pradipadika sanya by Krittadisa samasascha supo dhatu pradipadika yoho. So this is for all compounds. Dhatu pradipadika yoho. And after that, lashakvatadjite. In the beginning itself, I should have mentioned that we have to use 2219. Any samasa in this language, you have to find a sutra in 2-1 or 2-2. Samasa vidhayaka sutram. No samasa can be made in this language unless you find some sutram in 2-1 or 2-2 to justify it. It's always the first stop. No samasa can begin also unless you find a sutram in 2-1 or 2-2, which we within that from 2-1, 2-2 to 2-2, 2-2 tatpurushaha, and then tasya antya bhage vishesha tatpurushaha. Last few sutras of that tatpurushaha gives you the special tatpurusha compounds. And this one, Upapada Samasa, has only one sutram. Upapadam Ating. Upapadam Ating. Okay. Okay, and then as Karthik said, we can do Atva Lopa iti chakra. This Akara of Pa will drop by, because the Ka had this Kakara in it. So Atva Lopa iti chakra. If you have an Adantam Mangam, it takes Lopaha, Alontyasya. This Akara drops. And we get only pa. If the following pratyaya has the sanya of ardhadhatukam, because we are in the adhikara of ardhadhatuke. Ardhadhatuk adhikara we have. So okay, ardhadhat. So 6464. 6464. 6464. Because if you have pratyaya which has the ardhadhatuka sanya, which is ajadi, kit or nit, then it causes the akara lopa of the angam. If it's not kit or nit, it has to have the idagamaha. So in our case, we can. So padapaha. Okay, let's continue. So now, how do you want to do this one? There's no vyakhyanam. Vyakhyanam nasti. So how do you want to do this, Karthik?
We can make it upavanasya padapaha.
Yes, very good. Upavananam padapaha.
Padapaha.
So they were the trees of the surrounding groves. Upavana means like the smaller forests or groves, or like the exterior gardens and groves. So once what kind of samasa is that, Karthik?
Shashti tatpurusha.
Very good. Now you know whether vyakhyanam is not there. So shashti purusha prayena na vyakhyayate. Because it is most of the time you will be no vyakhyanam for the shashti tatpurushaha. Spashtatvat. It is very spashtam. No need for vyakhyanam. So there will be no vyakhyanam for upavananam padapaha. Now once we do that, remember tatpurusha compound is uttara pada pradhanaha. Means that pura padasya pradhanyam nasti. Once you do the vigraha vakyam, you can now forget the word upavana. You don't need it. Leave it out. It's already accounted for. Tatpurusha compound is the beauty of Tatpurusha compound. Once you make that compound, if you're part of a bigger compound, then you don't, Purvapadam is not required anymore. According to the further analysis, you don't need the Purvapadam. So now make it only Pidita Padapam. Simplified, because we already accounted for Upavana by saying Upavananam Padapa. Okay, now it's simple. What is the next step, Karthik?
Piditaha Padapaha Yasyaha Sa Mithila.
Very good. Piditaha Padapaha Yasyaha Sa, and finally Tam. Tam Mithilam. So it was a Mithila whose trees were oppressed, distressed, troubled by the army of Dasharatha. So in short, Dasharatha arrived at, by the way, Dhatu A plus Sad is to come close to arrive at. So Dasharatha arrived at Mithila, encircling it, and the Mithila, whose trees of the surrounding gardens and grove were oppressed by his armies. Okay, so Pidita, of course, speed should depress. Pidita is Nishtha Pragaha. Piditaha Upavananam Padapaha Yasyaha Sa Mithila, and then Tam. Okay, and then Veshtaya, interesting thing, Karthik, Paridhi Kurvan. What's going on there, Karthik? Yakshanam. Paridhi Kurvan. What's in that? Spashti Karoti.
It is that catch
Chui. Chui is a 0. So what is the to what Padipatikam has the pratyaya Chui come? Like Spashti Karoti, of course. Right? So now Spashti means the Dhatu Spashtam Dhati. Padipatikam Spashta. The Spashta took Chui. Chui is a 0. How the Chui is 0, Karthik? So,
we'll get Chutu and Upadeshe Jananasikayit.
Yes, and finally
Vera Praktasya.
6167. The Chui becomes a 0. So become Spashta 0. And that will now get the Gati Sanya. That was Sutra. Because you remember we looked at the Pradayaha, Upasarga Kriya Yoge, Gatishcha. Right? Pradayaha. So there's 21 Pradis. Upasarga Kriya Yoge. When they are qualifying a verb, they be called Upasargas. Only the Pradis can become Upasargas. The same Pradis can also become Gati. So why do we have two names? Because the Gati is a bigger umbrella. It has other things which are also called Gati. So from that 1460 to 1479, all these are Gatis. Gati Sanya. So but Upasargas only Pradayaha. Ya Yoge. And the very first term is Uryadi Chvida Chascha. Uryadi is a Gana, then Chvi and Da are Pratyayas. Chvida Chascha. Pratyaya Chvi. So when you Chviyantam, when you have, it's Gati Sanya. So now we can go to Kugati Pradayaha. We are forming a compound. Remember always, you have to find a sutram in 2122 to justify the compound. So Kugati Pradayaha. So now we are forming a Gati Samasaha. But first that, we have to get the Pratyaya Chvi. Any idea where Chvi comes, Karthik?
Chvi.
5450. Abhuta tad bhave. Kru bhuasti yoge. Sampadya kartri Chvi. Means that Abhuta tad bhave. Means when there's something which was not there is going to become there. Spashti karanam. Something which was not clear is being made clear. So after that Pradipadikam, which is transforming to that, the Pratyaya Chvi can be used. Sampadya is a strange sutram, Sampadya Kartari. When something is making that, when the change is being made, from that it was not there to that it was there. Then but the condition is that the Kru Bhu Asti Yoge is condition. It has to be Kru Bhu Asti Yoge. So this Pratyaya Chvi can only be used, or the understanding that after the Chviyantam, you're going to get Kru Bhu Asti. So here we have Paridhi Kurvan. So paridhi kurvan. Okay, now last step, the dirgha we need. So first we will apply this. This is the vyakhyanam, by the way. Right now we have the vyakhyanam, not in the shloka. So we are now in this what Malinath is saying, paridhi kurvan. Okay, Veshtayan paridhi kurvan. So what's the word paridhi mean first of all? Paridhi. Paridhi like a fence, like also can mean a halo, like a circle around something is a fence or a a siege or a halo is paridhi. What's the dhatu there? Pari plus dha. Like a word like samadhi, upadhi, same thing paridhi. So dhatu there is that this comes in this, you have form a masculine noun out of this first. For the form of masculine noun, see the simple word is so many sutras we can get, is Gokihi. This pratyaki comes in here. Pratyaki. Again, if you form a noun, there's only one padanashtadhyayi, only one padaha. Upasarge ghokihi. Upasarge ghokihi. Upasarga is there, which is pari in our case. Then the gu sanyaka, which is what? Dada gvadap. Dada gvadap. This is what I mean with sanya prakranam, Sanya prakranam has to be known very well. What is gu? What is gi? What is bha? What is this? What is that? Sarvanama? What is that? So gu. Gu refers to dhatus of the form da or dha. But remember, we have to remember 6145, which says adecha upadeshe shiti, which means any dhatu ending in h, a, o, I, au. Immediately the h becomes an akaraha. If the pratyaya coming is not talavya than it. Adecha upadeshe shiti. So not only da and dha, dhatu like like dai or they or anything ending in a, I, o, au will immediately become an akaraha. The pratyaya following doesn't have this talavya as an it. So it's not just da and dha. There are about 7 such dhatus which become da or dha eventually. Includes da and dha also, of course. But so dada gvadap. So when such a dhatu is there, right now, if you keep it simple, dhatu dha we have right now. Upasarga is pari. Again, upasarge. So this is upapadam. So satra upapadam saptami stham. So upasarge. When upasarga is there, when da or dha is there, pratyaha ki can be used. Ki can be used to form a masculine noun. So masculine noun, by the way, be careful. Because sometimes in Hindi or other places, this samadhi might be feminine. But samadhi means the masculine form. So let's do that one first. 23392. So what do we have here? I think same sutram. So pari, dha, ki. So 3392. Then again same thing, right? Lashakvatadhyate. So when you hear this many times, I hope you will start remembering these sutras a little bit. So lashakvatadhyate, ato lopa iticha, ato lopa iticha. Ato lopa iticha, ato lopa iticha. What does that say? If you have a pratyaya which is sanya of ardhadhatukam, things which is ardhadhatukam, ardhadhatukam sheshaha. The pratyaya ki will qualify for that. For the shakvatadhyate, the only ikara anubandha lope, ikara vashishyate, asya angasya akarasya lopaha becomes dha. So we use lashakvatadhyate, ato lopa iticha. Now we got the form of paridhi. Paridhi we got. We need only one more sutram, Karthik.
Satyashji?
Yes.
When you get the chance, maybe you can explain what the gu sanya do and what the gati sanya do. It's two separate questions.
See, gati sanya was required to use sutram 2218 kugati pradayaha. Kugati pradayaha. You form a gati samasaha. You cannot form a gati samasaha unless that term in gati is is being compounded. That requires a gati to be compounded. That's why I went to gati sanya. And te prag dhatoho, come before a dhatu. So this gati sanyaka, they also connect with the dhatu also. Just like we do normally do upasargas, we do like like prakaroti, for example, right? Like prakaroti, you can also say paridhi karoti. They will not, by the way, tingantas don't compound, be careful. We say paridhi karoti, prutak padam, samasta padam nasti, tingantam na samasyate. But if you have a krudantam, like paridhi kurvan is what we have right now. You can form a samasa, a gati samasa by kugati pradaya 2 to 18. The ku shabdaha or the gati sanyaka or the pradis can form a compound. But to get that, we need to get the gati sanya first.
Gati sanya for which word?
For that, paridhi plus chvi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the paridhi plus chvi is anyway is 0 anyway. So paridhi,
Yeah.
when you add the chvi, then it gets the gati sanya by this 1/4, I think it was 60 or 61. So that gati sanya. Uryadi chvi dachascha. Because the chvi pratyaya came in, that's how the paridhi plus chi, which is same paridhi only, it got the gati sanya. Under the condition that kru, bhu, as have to be used. So the chvi only came under that condition. Kru, bhu, asti yoge. So that's how we got the that's the of the gati sanya prayojanam. The gu
The
sanya,
chi itself, under what category do you bring in as a pratyaya to form what kind of pratipadikam?
tadhita.
Tadhita pratyaya. Okay.
Tadhita pratyaya. But since the chvi is a 0, it didn't really cause any change in form, So
Yeah.
the paridhi remained paridhi only. Paridhi plus 0, paridhi only.
Yeah.
But now it got the gati sanya now.
And that
now
gati sanya should be in one of the gati words that is in the sutras.
So gati sanya can only come by these few sutras which go from 1/460 towards 79. So once gati sanya is got, then you can use 2 to 18 to the compounding. So because if you just had the word paridhi without gati sanya, without the pratyaya chvi, you cannot form the compound with the kurvan like that.
Just I happened to be going to Namaspuraso Datyoho
Very good.
Sutra, and I didn't understand the Gati Sanya.
So gati sanya means these are like upasargas kind of.
Yeah, and they should they be listed in the vrittis or they?
In
Vartikam
no, what this is sutram itself, right? So
Sutram itself. Yeah, are they listed? Are they listed words or like upasargas are listed?
Oh yeah, upasargas are only 22 of those. They're only the pradaya.
Yeah. But gatis are not listed, is it?
So gati will be depending on what you're talking about. If you're talking uryadi is a gana, uryadi gana, it is listed. So chvi, the pratyaya chvi and pratyaya raj. So now these can come after any pratipadikam. So any pratipadikam can take the pratyaya chvi in that meaning, of course. And so now it can be any pratipadikam will get the gati sanya with chvi now, because the chvi got the gati sanya, chvi antam. And the chvi can come out of any pratipadikam. So now, like we say namas or puras, only namas puras can go into the gati sanya. Sorry, puro avyayam. So puras, when puras and avyayam, it gets the gati sanya, like puras karoti, puts in front, right? Purodha, etc. So now these puras gets the gati sanya. Just a single term puras, which is an avyayam, can get gati sanya. But now when you talk about pratyaya like chvi, any chvi antam. So now chvi antam will be, of course, chvi has to be there, but there can be anything prior to it. Can have any like vishadi karoti, spashti karoti, it can be anything like that. Oh. So yes, they are listed, but this is a pratyaya being listed, not the which pradipad is coming before that. So.
Yeah. Similarly, when you can get the gu sanya,
the gu is for the dhatu.
With the dhatu, what does it do? What does it do to it?
No, it only gets because the gu sanyakas will undergo special operations.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What kind of special operations?
Because we use the sutram 3392, upasarge gho ki ghoho. Because it says ghoho, means only gu sanya is there, then only they can take the pratyaya ki.
Oh, okay.
That ghoho is the that ghoho is with the dhatoho. So gu sanyaka dhatoho. So that's why without the gu sanya, you cannot use the sutram 92. So that's why we need to apply dada, gwada, get the gu sanya first, dhatu dha. Then we can use upasarge ghoki. So that's why the gu sanya. It's only a sanya, but that'll trigger operations,
Yeah, and what is the key pratyaya?
Pratyaya ki?
Yeah.
So ki is a krut pratyaya. It's a participle, krut pratyaya.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's only krut pratyaya. That's why you got the paribadi sanya by the krut is the samasascha. It's a krut pratyaya ki.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for holding.
No, it's okay. Good. It's good. I think maybe under the class also can use the discussions. That's good. All right. So continuing, Karthik. So where were we? We are looking at this one. Okay. Now we got the word paridhi. Now what we made is paridhi plus chvi by the abhuta tadbhave. So chvi came in by 5450 came under the condition that only kru, bhu, as can be used after this, and the condition was that something which was not was being there. Now we transform to that. Ekspashtikaranam means which was not clear is being made clear. Paridhi means the fence or the siege. The siege was not there. Siege is now being made, or the the halo circle around it. Okay, so now we got, of course, chvi we already mentioned. This becomes sarvapahar lopaha, means everything goes away. We only get the form paridhi again because we got chutu, got upadeshajananasika it, tasya lopaha, and verapuktasya. So vehe, so the vakara of v, which remains behind alone, apruktasya, aprukta ekal pratyaya. Then that also takes lopa, 6167. Now we got the chviyantam. Now we can get the gati sanya by 1460, I think 61. Karthik, last sutram, Karthik. Special price for Karthik for today. I want to make the dirgha of that ikara. What can we do, Karthik? So what we have now is we have the term paridhi from which got the gati sanya by 1461 and now we got the dhatu kru, and this kru can of course then take its own whatever it can be. This is the kugati pradeha. Of course then the kurvan has its own pratyaya. Let became Shatru, became Kurvan. We'll do that later. But now first I want to make the dirgha of the Karthik.
No, 60.
Okay, 7426. 7426. Because the akrus sarvadhatuka yoho dirgha is 25. Shivaucha. Akrus sarvadhatuka yoho dirgha Shivaucha. When we have chvi following the ending of the angam, we take dirgha, chvaucha, 7424. This chvi has a couple of rules, Karthik, which are important, which is asya chvau and chvaucha. These two rules, asya chvau, also chvaucha. So chvaucha is saying that chvi pratyaya parataha adantasya angasya dirgo bhavati shuki karoti. So, shuchi karoti makes it clean, right? So, patu karoti makes him skilled. Shuchi karoti, patu karoti. So, chaupare purvasya dirghasyat. Agni bhavati becomes like what was not fire becomes fire. Agni bhavati. Okay. Next sutram which I want to remember, Karthik, is asya chvau, like spashtikaranam. It doesn't become spashtakaranam, it becomes spashtikaranam. Asya chvau. So remember these two rules, Karthik, with chvi. This chvaucha and asya chvau. Means if you have the avarnanta, then also you get asya chvau. It is is this typo here. Avarnantasya angasya chauparataha ika adesha bhavati shukli syat. Okay, so remember asya chvau. Remember also chaucha. So asya chau, the number was 7432. Asya chau. It's down here. Okay, so we want to use chaucha, which is 7426. I think now we got it. Now it becomes we copy this, so just becomes paridhi asya chau. In fact, right, even actually back here itself, once the chui, even right here, we should make it paridhi. I should make it because when the chui comes, all this requires chui only. We don't require to go through all these steps. Paridhi right here. And now we can use paridhi because once the chui comes, dirgha is going to come. We can use that paridhi karoti. Okay. Now paridhi kurvan, of course kurvan means what? We can do it verbally. So kru plus lat becomes shat, lat becomes shatu. Then the pratyaya what comes? U. Right? So u comes. So we get u does the guna of the kru becomes what happens, Kartik? Karu. Right? Now how do we get kurvan now?
I think we have the rule. I forgot the rule.
Ata utsarvadhatuke.
Ata utsarvadhatuke.
This comes in 6.4. Ata utsarvadhatuke. So now, Ata utsarvadhatuke. What this saying is that for the dhatu kru, right? This dhatu, what number was that?
64110.
Yeah, at 110. So yecha. So nityam karote here. Yecha. Ataha utsarvadhatuke. So when the pratyaya falling is the sarvataka pratyaya, then the akara becomes ut. Kurvanti. Okay, let's go to the steps now. So we can use okay, so we had kru plus, let's only do this part, okay now. Kru plus kshatriyo. So we've got the usual shakwatadite, upadesha nasika it. And now we can make it into Ganavikaranam U comes in there. But kru plus U plus kshatriyo. Kri tanadi bhyo uhu. See, where does sutram come for the pratyaya u, Kartik? How will that come?
It will be below the Kartari Shabd, the Apavada.
Apavada of Kartari Shabd. Right below that will be the sutram. So 3160 Kartari Shabd. And below that you will get this one. Somewhere will be there.
79.
79. Tanadi krim bhya uhu. So 3179. Apavada for Shabd. Apavada for Shabd came in 3179. Okay. Now what's the next step? We do the gunaha sarvadhatuka ardhataka yoho. The pratyaya uhu is the pratyaya which has the sanya of ardhathatukam. So it becomes uran raparaha. So we're going to get kar u plus shatra. Kar u plus shatra. So it becomes karu. So we did sarvadhatuka ardhataka yoho. We also did the uran raparaha. And now we got this one, of course, anubandha lope at. Next step, Kartik, what do you want to do now?
We'll get the Ato Sarvadhatuke to make it Kuru.
Yes, Ato Sarvadhatuke. So now we'll make it Karu. And how about Yan Sandhi between the U and the At?
We'll get Achishnu Dhatu Dhruvam.
No. Only for Dhatu Zukara.
Dhatu.
This is not Dhatu Zukara. This is Pratyaya Ukara.
So it will become Kuruvat, just Yan Sandhi.
No. You have not going to leave it so easily now. So hold on. So, Kurvat, 1 second. There's one more question, Kartik. What could it be? Okay, so Kur 64110. I'll give you a hint. Why does Panini have to say Ataha Ut Sarvadhatuke? This is a Vidhiyamana Ukara. Savarnaha na griyante. Because another savarna se cha pratyaha, right? So vidhiyate pratiyati pratyaha. Another savarna se cha pratyaha. Ayam ukaraha vidhiyamanaha. Tasmat karana ta parakaranam. Why put the tapara? You remember the discussion? You forgot, I think. Don't know.
Yeah, I forgot it actually. I remember that we had this discussion, but I forgot what.
Right. So kur, we got the word. That's why I want to go through this. Yan sandhi. Remove the sutram. Voropada irga halicha.
So it will become ku.
So what do you have here? You have this repanta dhatu. Kur. Right? Upada is followed by a hal. Should become kurvat. So tasya nivarnartham saparakaranam. So Panini is saying, don't do the halicha by saying ataha ut sarvadhatuke. Is that ut will stay as ut only. It will not become u. So if you look at the Vyakhyanam, so that's your remember that. So what I'm saying is that 8277 is saying halicha. So dhatu ending in a ref or vakaraha, it should be either padanta, which is 8276, or followed by a hal. Then the upada becomes dirgha. What do we have right now? We have kur. So this was a refa desha which came through gunaha, uran, raparaha. So it's part of the dhatu still. This vakara is the hal. So then, ukarasya digatvam praptam. So by 8277 become kurvat. So we don't want that. So now we can use the ata utsarva dhatuke. Let's go to the Vyakhyanam, see what we can find there. But there's one more thing is that, do you see the sutram here? Na bha kur churam. Can we use that? Okay, let's go step by step. Let's go to 6.1. Actually, I give the wrong thing, Karthi. I confused you. See, this is unless you teach, you don't learn. Yeah. Okay. Let's back up a little bit. So now, what's happening is there. I confuse you, Karthik. That atul sarvadhatuke is for the reason that after the u comes, can the u take gunaha? By puganta laghupatasya. Because when we had kar plus u before doing yan sandhi, kar plus u, now I can argue that this u pratyaya clearly has a sanya of ardhadhatukam. I can do puganta laghupatasya gunaha to the u, couldn't I? Make it core.
Yeah.
So that is what is taught by Ata Ut Sarvadhatuke. So that gunaha, or the gunaha of that U coming in. Even before going to Tripadi, we don't go there first. Let's deal with the guna problem that we have right here, which is the, look at 6.4.1.1.10. Sorry, I confused you. So that we need that sutram, one more sutram to stop the, so this one says that, Taparakaranam Laghupatasya Guna Nivrityartham. So that means that the Taparakaranam, the Ata Ut Sarvadhatuke, that Ut is mentioned, Laghupatasya Guna Nivrityartham. So you don't make it core again. So leave it as it is. So this stops the Guna operation. The Puganta Laghupatasya. Okay? Now, why can we not use the same logic for seeing that one also there? Then,
I think we can.
Can we not use the same logic? Or can we use the same logic? Because now, okay, let's go to Sutram which we really need right now. We need na bha khur churam is Sutram. Right below 382, na bha khur churam. Let's look at that one. Is refa vakarantasya bhasya, which we don't have right now. Kur, shur, iti etayoho cha dirgho na bhavati. Kuryat. Right? Kuryat. So this was saying, if you have these dhatu, kur we have. The kur can only come by ataut sarvadhatuke. Ataut sarvadhatuke. So now when that happens, then should not do dirgha by this sutram of the halicha. So this dirgha cannot be done. So Karthik, homework for you, Karthik. Give us the answer next time. Is why could we not use the ataut sarvadhatuke as a nyapakaha So taparakarana samarthyat, right? Can we not stop this by that? What do you think? Can we stop it or not? If this sutram is saying that if you have kur, right, which is rephant, of course, dhatu, followed by a hal, right, then don't apply that halicha.
Yes.
Now kur can only come really by ata sarva dhatuke. Ut is already mentioned there. We use the same logic for justifying the stopping the guna. Can we use the same logic here again? See, I will give you the answer again. I already gave you the answer already. See, we already used it one time to stop the guna adesha.
Okay.
So Vachana Samarthyat already has been used up now. You cannot use it again second time because, see, Vachana Samarthyat only, the whole idea of Vachana Samarthyat is that something which Panini says should become useless. Now that Taparakaranam, we already justified that Taparakaranam, so Guna Nivritti Artham already has been said. So now if we do Dirgha over here, it will not violate that anymore. So that Taparakaranam was Guna Nivritti Artham. So this sutram is still required. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that is the logic. I'm getting too complicated, I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is that the sutram is saying that if you have the kur followed by a hal, don't do the halicha dirgha. But the kur can only come, the ukara can only come by ata ut sarva dhatu. Okay. This taparakaram. Tapara means that ut has been mentioned upon in the sutram 6.4.1.1.10. So taparakarana samarthyat. Can we say that dirgho na bhavati? Ti vaktum na shakyate. Because that taparakaranam has already have charitartha. Charitartha means it has justified its existence by stopping the guna. So now that ta will not be useless anymore. We cannot now bank on the same ta and say now I can stop the dirghatam also. Anyway, I hope you followed some of this. But basically we need the sutram 8279, which is saying na bha kurchuram. See, I was confused myself, right? I had the two mixed up. So 8279, na bha kurchuram. 8279. Finally, what we get kurvat and then kurvan, right? So we got that kurvat because of na bha kurchuram. 279. Iti ukara se dirghatam dirgho na bhavati kurvat. Of course, yan sandhi and then just join kurvat, and the kurvat becomes kurvan the same way, like veshtayan we did. Kurvan the same way, same add the pratyaya su, get the numa gamaha, halni abhyo, and then sanyogantasya lopaha will give it the form. Okay, so that was the whole logic. Okay, so paridhi kurvan, so making it encircled. Asasada sapuri stri equals yuvati. Why are you saying that there, Karthik? What's the point? Yuvatihi because she's a young lady, newly married, like young lady. Not because she can be any lady, He's just telling you he means a young woman. So he just clarified that stri means yuvatihi, not an old woman, young woman. So now the word yuvati itself has one, as I said, there are many Pani Sutras. We derive only one word for you. This is one for you, Karthik. The one for you, Karthik, is yunastihi. This yuvan pradipadikam, yuvan, takes the ti pratyaha to form the stilinga rupam. You must striyamadhikara, Karthik, striyamadhikara.
Yes, yeah.
So that yuvan, what really we have is yuvan. Yuvan cannot be used until it is passed, because what you want a feminine of yuvan, we have to call a subroutine called striyam. Only we can use it. And then yunasti. Today too much sidetracking. Okay, question for you, Karthik. What is yuna? Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? What is that?
It's a samprasarana.
Very good. I'm impressed. You use samprasaranam. So, where does sutram come?
Is it near Vatis Kapi Yajadinam Kiti somewhere there?
It could be Bhasyadikara, right? Because let's see, will it be Bhasyadikara? Will it not be you? Yes, correct, correct.
Yeah, we have us.
Yeah, because we do have, because yes, yunasti. I think probably nyasi, so we have us. So shwa, yuva, magho namatadite. Shwa, yuva, magho namatadite. So this will become, so shwan, yuvan, magavan. So this, this will become, they take the samprasaranam when they get the bhasanya. Question for you, Karthik, there are two yans away. Which one do you do samprasaranam now in yuvan? Because igyan is samprasaranam. So there's yakara is there, vakara also is there. So we got two of them. So kasya samprasaranam kartavyam.
I think so. Na samprasarane samprasaranam.
Very good. Na samprasarane samprasaranam. Which means that if samprasaranam follows, then don't do samprasaranam of the prior one. Which obviously means that the one closest to that nimittam will take samprasaranam. Then the earlier ones will not take samprasaranam. Na samprasarane samprasaranam says that if samprasaranam later follows, then the prior one will no longer take samprasaranam, which obviously implies that do samprasaranam only once for that last one, and don't do for the earlier one. Because if you do the earlier ones first, the sutram na samprasarane will not have any meaning. Because na samprasarane samprasaranam is saying don't do samprasaranam, samprasaranam is following. And we can only have that when you do the following one first, obviously. If you don't do the following one first, then this rule will not have any meaning. Na samprasarane samprasaranam. Because it says don't do samprasaranam, and samprasaranam is following. Now for there to be following, that should be done first. So the following one is done first. The following one is done first. So that's what the 64133 was yunasti. So following the Prajapati yuvan, for niya Prajapadikat, right? So Prajapadikat, you have to use the pratyati. What's the last step, Karthik? Yuvan plus ti. What do I do with that now? What's the next thing I want to do?
We need a tail lopaha? No. Only the because of
Padasanya. Padasanya by what? Because this is, Swadishva Sarvanamasthani. Swadishva Sarvanamasthani. Padasanya. This is Swadi Pratyayati. Swadi, and it is not Yachibham. So you're going to get Swadishva Sarvanamasthani Padasanya. Then 827. No, so yunasti. So yuvati. Yuvati is formed by 4177. So yuvati is a special word, which is a single sutram that Panini has just to form the word yuvati. So one single sutram just to form one word, which is yuvati. That's how the sutras stick in your head, So it's a vishesha vidhanam, yuvati. It's like a word like swamin, icha. Panini has a sutra called swamin. Only one sutra. For a single word swamin is formed by that sutra. Then he forms the word icha. Just icha is single sutram icha. Then it's just sutram like, kesha dvonyatarasyam. The word keshavaha. One single sutram just to form the word keshavaha, which is one single sutram he has. So these ones which are very, nice and they stick in your mind. So here what you get is that we get the pratyati and then we can make it yuvatihi by getting the padasanya 1417, Swadishva Sarvanamasthane, and then after that you can do Nulapa Prajapadikantasya. So 1417 followed by Nulapa Prajapadikantasya, that yuvatihi. So only thing what we understand with Malinatha is that yuvatihi means she's a young woman. So okay, now ayatam atiprasaktam dhatu sanj. Atiprasaktam dhatu sanj becomes sakta. Okay, without going details, Karthik, nakar lopa in sanj.
Anudatangita.
No, that's the ending nakar. This is upada nakara, Karthik.
Hello, Upadhaya
kiniti. Anudatam, hello, Upadhaya kiniti. Sanj, so dhatu in jakara. So 6424, we look it up, 6424 says that Anudatam, this nakara is not coming because of e as in it. It should be in dhatu partha itself. So Anudatam, hello, Upadhaya. It should be a conjunct with hal at the end. It should be upadha, nakaraha, kiniti. So we have dhatu sanj. So So Sanja, the Nakara becomes Sakta. 6-4-24, remove the Nakara of Sanj because it is not from E is an it. It is directly in Dhatu. Dhatu Partha, Pratyaya following is Kta, which has K in it. So 6-4-24. 6-4-24. And what is Ati Prasaktam? Sanj means to be attached. Prasaktam means like very attached. Ati Prasaktam means intensely attached. Very intense or very, with great attachment, which is being done. So Prasakta, Sudha Sakta, just use 6-4-24. So like, or it can be also mean like, which is very prolonged. Ati Prasaktam can also mean that. It's very intense or prolonged. Now Upama is coming here. Stri Iva. So this is of course Kalidasa. It's a trademark of Kalidasa, right? So this Puri is compared to a Stri. Compare the Vibhaktis now, please, because the Puri was in Prathama. Doesn't have to be the same lingam, by the way. It happens to be over here. So Puri is Mithila. Mithila is being compared to a Stri, which is Yuvati from the commentary. So Mithila was a young woman. This is Kalidasa's Upama coming now. And she was, the common point is Asahishta. As means tolerated. She put up with, she tolerated what? The Pritirodham. Pritirodham is no commentary. No, sorry, commentary is there, sorry. Prityarodham. Pritirodham. Rud is to constrain. Rodha means like or like embrace, alinganam. The loving embrace. So this the imagery of Kalidasa is that when Dasharatha came with his armies and he encircled Mithila, it was like a loving embrace that he gave to Mithila. So Prityarodham, Pritirodham. So this the Mithila, Asahishta, we'll derive this form shortly. It put up with, it tolerated the loving embrace of, given by this Dasharatha's armies, or Dasharatha himself, you can say, like a young woman tolerates the Kanta Paribhogam, which is what he says, Priya Sambhogam. Interesting, this Priya Sambhogam can be interesting now. Priya is now, can mean her lover, the love making of her lover. Or the loving love making can also be, understand? It can be a karmadharya samasaha. So priyascha so sambhogascha means the loving love making which she liked. Or it can be the love making of her lover, priyascha sambhogam. Either one we can take. So just like a young woman tolerates the excessive or very intense or prolonged love making of her lover, similarly, the Mithila tolerated this kind of assault by the troops of Dasharatha, which was a embrace made with love, And then he gives a couple of things which we'll finish off the class with this now. Asahishta Sodhavati. We'll come to that in a second. But he said, then he makes a commentary on his own now. So Dvesharodham Natu Sahate iti bhavaha. Iti bhavaha. Bhava means what is implied, what's the purport of the whole thing is that Dvesharodham tu na sahate. So neither the young woman nor Mithila will tolerate an embrace which is out of hostility. So Mithila would not have tolerated this siege, which if it were made out of hostility, out of hatred, out of enmity, not because of love. Similarly, young woman will not tolerate an embrace which is made out of, enmity or hostility, not out of love. So Dvesharodham, this is his commentary on that. Dvesharodham natu sahate iti bhavaha. So now final thing, Kartik, asahishta sodhavati. Asahishta. So asahishta is straightforward form, though it looks complicated. First thing, notice the adagamaha. Lung lang ring shvarudasaha. Adagama comes in three lakaras. Lung, lang, rung. Which one is it here, Kartik?
It's lung.
It's lung. How do we test for that? what is lat lakara form for this? Saha becomes sahate. Saha becomes sahate, right? Now the angama should be what would be the lung form of this? We should know that. So,
asahata.
Asahata, like alabhata, asahata. So we have an adagamaha. We know it is not lung lakaraha. Lung lakara is very easy to form. Like we have sahate, becomes asahata. Atmanepadam, asahata. So it is not asahata. Yet an adagama is there. It can be only lung, lung, rung, shu. So lung, lung, rung. That rung has to have a siya pratyaya over there, which is not there. So which is very rare. So don't worry about it. Most of the time we have the competition between the lung and the lung. And the lung form is very easy. It mimics the angakaryam in the lat lakaraha. So lat lakara we all know sah becomes sahate. As Karthik said, asahata with a lung form. So this is not lung. And the adagama is there. Therefore, without knowing any further grammar rules, you can say this is, because you see the pratyaya ta is still there. The same pratyaya ta is still, of course, sandhi has gone through some sandhi rules. But asahata form you know. The same pratyaya ta is still there. But there is something else going on in between there. And the adagama is there. So just knowing the simple facts, you can understand this is a Prathama Purushasya Ekvachana Rupam. Lung Lakarasya. Okay. So what I was talking about is the lung, lung, rung, shodadastaha is 6471. So you get the adagama has come here. Dhatu is sah. And then we have something in between there. Pratyaya is ta. And we didn't get the shap, sahate, right? So I think it's probably first kana. So sahate. So shab didn't come in here. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Oh my, this thing is not working today. My dhatu, this thing has taken moha. It's not working. The dhatu moh really sent into moha. It's not working. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, I was going to look at the dhatu vritti, but it's not working today for some reason. So it is because I want to see what he has to say. You know. In fact, but it's a straightforward form. Okay, finish for us, Karthik. Now what do we do?
Chli lungi.
Chile stitch. Chli lungi chile stitch. Before kartari shap comes this is like an apavada for shap. This is chli lungi. So when the lung is there, the pratyaya chili is used. And the chili becomes sich by default. It may become others also. But the chili is become, so what will come before the kartari shap, before 3168, there is a bunch of, I think from 31 around 43 on this thing, chili lungi chile sich. So these, if you want to master lung lakaraha, this is a section you want to look at. So nice section. So all the way up to this one, you know, this Sarvadhatu Keya, from this Chile Sich 3144 up to this Sarvadhatu Keya, these are all these, you know, sutras which tells you the Chile becomes what. But the very first was Chile Sich. That's all we need for today. Chile Sich. So that becomes Sich, of course, Halantyam. Upadesh Arjunanasik, it becomes Sakaraha. So Chile Sich 3143, 44. So now we get this Sakara in here. 31 Chile Sich. Chilungi, Chile. You're going to hear this 1,000 times. Chilungi, Chile Sich. I must have heard literally 5,000 times this sutra because, you know, it's ring in my ears all the time. So Chilungi, Chile Sich. Okay. So now what's the last thing?
Ardha dhatu ka shade valade hai.
Idagama, very simple. Idagama is there. See, idagama is all in front of your eyes, you know. So pratyaksham drishyate. So sukaram karyamidam. Very simple operation. So ardha dhatu ka shade valade here. And then, you know, the usual, the adisha pratyayoho, the sakara will become a murdanya shakaraha. It's chunashtuhu. Chunashtuhu. That's the simple form. Okay, next form, Karthik, sodhavati. So,
Shatrapratyaya.
No. Tavatu. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, let me finish this one, Karthik. So, E, then it became Dhanya Shakaraha. and it became ta. Okay, so asahishta. So what we did was we brought in the idagamaha, tripadi karyam, then we got the adesha pratyayoho, mudini shakar adeshaha, paschat chunashtuho. Okay, now sodhavati, dhatu sah plus the pratyaya ta. The first thing that, how come idagamaha didn't come over here? It came over there. You notice that? Is that the idagamaha, did not come in the form sodhavati. It came in the form asahishta. Running out of time, Karthik, I will give the answer quickly, is that there must be a sutram in 7.2. Give us the answer. The sutram which I remember is Ti. Look at this. Ti sha saha lubha rusha rishaha. 7.248. 7.248. Now, of course, this sutram is, you have to scan 7.2 and see, what you can, or you can go to dhatu vritti, which is not working today for us, but also have gone there. What sutram say? Takarado adhatuke ishuhu saha labha rush itebhyo va idagamo bhavati. Va idagamo bhavati. So this will take idagamo only optionally. So what form is he giving? So now we are taking the word sodha sahita. So this idagama doesn't come optionally also. So that's what it is saying. So let's see. Ishu ichchayam. So now we can get this form without idagamaha. So this was a tough sutram to remember, but bottom line is you have two ways to find out quickly. 7.2 is the idagama section, you can scan that. This one I haven't remembered, remember this one, I've used a few times. Or you can go dhatu vritti or the rupamala and get the details. Okay. Once you have the dhatu, generally speaking, the answer is not far away. So there are many resources that you have. You can go to the to the dhatu vritti, can go to rupamala, can go to many other sources to get the answer. Once you have the dhatu, generally you got the answer for the most part. So now 7.248, Nikalpena it. So atra id abhava pakshe. So 7.248, no idagama has been done in this case.
Tavatu pratyaya satishi will have.
Yes. Tado. So T. But same sutram. Tavatu. Okay, Tavatu. So now 7.248, now no idagama. Because first of all, we should go to 7.210 and see in the Hanteshu list what do we have. In 7.210 Hanteshu, which is what do we have? Do we have the dhatu sah over there? Is it udatta upadesha, anudatta upadesha dhatu? Which one do we have? So let's see, 7.210 Hanteshu list. So this is the dhatu which is I'm talking about, the ekacha upadesha udattat. Hanteshu daha dahi daha duha nahi mahu ni laha. No, vaha. It's not there. Laha vaha ashtau. So this list is not there. So this is a said dhatu to begin with. So, but tadau, if you say takaradi, dhatu, okay, it will become optionally. I think that we can use that. Okay, let's finish this now. So 7.248. Now, of course, lashakvata dite upadesha nasika it, but sah plus tavat. Now what will happen?
Hodha.
Hodha, very good. Let's take it step by step. So hakarasya dhakaradesho bhavati jali padante, jali afa padante. In coming next Saturday class, you're going to have the sutram. If you want to get the details, you can come to that class. Next Saturday class, we'll have this tavat. Okay, tavat. So now we have hodha. So we have used the hodha. Okay, so hodha. So what I did was simply remove the it letters by lashakvatadite upadeshana nasika it, and then we are going to the tripadi karyam hodha. So what number is that? After chohaku. Chohaku is 8 to 30. 8 to hoda is 8 to 30. Okay, next step, Karthik.
Dashastathor dhodha.
Jashastatordhodha. So Jashaha, Tatoho. So if the preceding letter is a Jash, what is Jash? The Mudani Shakara, Jash. So Javai Gardash. Number 4 column. If you have the number 4 column letter preceding, which is the Dhakara in this case, followed by Tatoho, the Takara or Thakaraha, then that becomes a Dhakara. The Takara, Takarasya Tattva, Takarasya Sthane, Dhakara Adesho Vidiyate. So that is 8 to 40. Jashastator Dhodaha. I know these may be a little bit complicated for you today, but you can hear this many, many times. Like a word like Buddhi. It's a word like Buddhi, Take Buddh plus Ti. Right? First, Jashastator Dhodaha. That Ti becomes Dhi, Tilam Jashi. So even to form simple word like Buddhi, Siddhi, you need this sutram, Jashastator Dhodaha. It's not a very complex, it's not a very uncommon sutram. Okay, next step, Karthik.
Dhodhe will have the Tunashtuhu.
Chunashtuhu. So let's go step by step. So first we use, now we get this, because there's a special rule coming at the end, so I'm going through all the details. But in the end, it's going to come a special rule. So we become a Dhakara over here. Become Dhakaraha by the sutram. Dhakaraha by the sutram. Jashastator Dhodaha. This is the tough. This may be 8 to 40. After that, Chunashtuhu becomes third. Dhavat. Chunashtuhu. 8 to 41. The next one, Karthik. Sorry, 8.
Dhodhe Lopaha.
Dhodhe Lopaha. How come we came back to Dhodhe Lopaha after Chunashtuhu? That's the question, right? Because Chunashtuhu is 8-4. Almost end of Ashtadhyayi, 8-4-41. Ashtadhyayi ends in 8-4-68. Don't look beyond that. That's the end of it. So now, we have coming back to Dhodhe Lopa, I think is what? 8-3-13 or something? From Dhodhe Lopaha. Going back to Dhodhe Lopaha. So, because the simple short answer is that, barring some very minor complications, if you don't allow Dhodhe Lopa to cease Chunashtuhu, it will not apply. Vachana Samarthya. So this dha followed by dha basically only comes by after Chunashtuhu. Okay. So if you don't allow the Dhodhe Lopa to cease Chunashtuhu, then Vyartham Syat. Simple, meaning is that. So 8-3-13. Then we become 8-3-13 now gives us what? So Dhakare Parataha Dhakarasya Lopa Bhavati. So becomes Sadhavat. Actually, before that, you should have done the ni pratyaya, rinnebhyo ni. Rinnebhyo. Which one can ugitascha? Sorry, ugitascha. Ugitascha. We'll do it at the end. We'll mention at the end. But so now we get because we already come in Tripadikara. Maybe we should have done that. But 8-3-13. And then comes what?
Sahivahor Odavarnasya.
Very good. I'm impressed with that. 6-3-1-1-2. Normally you have Dhalope Purvasya Dirghona. So if you have a Dhalopa, Dhaka or Lepha Lopaha, the prior end takes Dirgha. In this case you want what you want, you're going to get the Okaraha. So Sahi Vahor Od Avarnasya. If the Akara of Sah and Vah comes in Gita, Shaknoti hai vayastodhum. Gita comes, right? Shaknoti hai vayastodhum. Again, in Hindi, bolte hain, chhod do re, chhod do. Sodhum, sod means you keep, it's okay, you put up with it, leave him. So I think that might come from this one also. Hindi mein chhod do bolte hain, that is a sodhum. Sodhum is that, you put up with it. It's okay, leave it. So that's sodhum. The same thing, tumun and pratyaya, tumun there, similar thing, So you can use the same set of rules. Sahi vohor, od avarnasya. The akara of sah and vah takes the okara adesha dhalope. 6-3. This sutra is easy to remember because 6-3-1, we use 1-1-1 all the time. 6-3-1-1-1 we use all the time. So 6-3-1-1-2 in this case becomes sodhavat. Of course, as you mentioned, way back we should have done the neep in the feminine, but that's the easy part. Ugitascha. Remember that no word can be used in the feminine until, by the way, how come we came back to 6-3-1-1-2 again? The same thing. The Dhrolopaha only comes in Dhodhe Lopaha Rori. If this 6311112 cannot see it, they'll become useless. Vachana Samarthyat again. We're coming back to Sapara Sapta Adhyayi. After doing Tripadi Karyam, in spite of Purvatra Siddham, Vachana Samarthya. Because otherwise these sutras of Dhruvalope will be useless. Dhruvalopa only comes over there in 8, 3, 12, 13, 14. So Sodhavat and Ugitascha, feminine, you'll have to use the sutram Ugitascha, which should have been done before we go to Tripadi, but anyway, we'll mention at the end now. So 4, 1, I think 6 Ugitascha. So Ugit, that Pratyak Tavatu had U as an it. So you could use Neep in the feminine, becomes Sodhavati. So what did Mullasa do for you? He took the Lakara Lung and converted to a very simple Tavatu Pratyaha. Sodhavati is qualifying this Puri Mithila. So, Mithila Puri. Actually, you know what? I forgot to open up my translation. Okay, hold on.
Satishji,
Yes.
on the derivations under Prasakta, you mentioned about Sakta and referred to 6424.
Dhatu Sanj, Nakar Lopaha. Nakar Lopaha.
6424, Aniditham Hal Upadayaha iti.
Iti. So Halupadha means Anuvutya Praya Sutram, right? But this, what is the...
Snascha Lopaha.
Yeah,
Snana Lopaha.
Na Lopaha. So Snana Lopaha. So Na Lopaha. So Nakara will take Lopaha. If it's the Upadha of a Hal. Hal at the end, Nakara to be Dhatu Sanj. Sa, then Na Ja, Sanj.
Oh, Sanj, that Nakara goes away.
Nakara goes away because it's Upadha to the Hal, and it is followed by Pratyaya, which is Kit Pratyaya, because the Kta Pratyaya. That's what I was meant. We need that. Otherwise, Nakara is there, right? How to remove that? So,
yeah, thank you.
Okay, ready? Once you're ready, you can do this one for us. So, he reached, let's say he reached,
Asasada.
so Saha is he.
Saha.
Yeah.
Saha
Asasada, he reached.
Saha Asasada.
I think my screen has gone blank, I don't know why, but okay. And then Mithila is Mithilam.
Mithila.
And surrounded it. Let me go here. Surrounded it is that Veshtayan.
Veshtayan, yeah.
Veshtayan surrounded it with his soldiers.
Balaihi.
Balaihi, with the army, really, army soldiers, who caused injuries to the trees in the gardens outside the city.
Pidita Upavana Padapam.
So this injury is Pidita. The cause injury is Pidita. Upavana is the gardens outside the city, and Padapa is the trees. Of course, all the Bahuri qualifying Mithila. That city,
Purim.
Sapuri.
Sapuri.
Sapatama. So this is very good translation. This translation very, very honest to the original. Endured. It is the Asahishta. Asahishta. Sodhavati.
Asahishta, yeah.
It endured. The siege of love. Priti Rodham. Priti Rodham. Siege of love. Priti Rodham.
Priti Rodham.
Priti Rodham. Pritya Rodham. Priti Rodham. As a woman, Stri Iva. Stri Iva. Now, suffrage is common between these two. Asahishta. Yatha Stri Sahate. Tadvad Mathila Mithila Asahishta. This is common between these two. The Upama. No, it's common. The coveted, this one is a little bit strange. The coveted Sambhoga of her lover. This one I'm having a bit of problem with this one because he says coveted. Looks like Priya. Sambhoga is fine. Then offer lover again Priya. I don't know. What do you think, Karthik? What has he done here? Because the ayatam ati prasaktam. Because the coveted must be Priya. I'm thinking Kanta. Oh. Sorry, Kanta. Is it because the Patabheda? Is it the Patabheda here? Oh.
No, so the Kanta was there in that also.
Oh, Kanta, I'm sorry. So Kanta Paribhogam. So oh no, there's a commentary, I'm sorry. So Priya Sambhogam. So Kanta Parisamokam Priya Sambhogam. So the commentary is Priya Sambhogam. So which means the loving love making or the love making of her lover. Okay, that's fine. So then he got the coveted and the offered lover is again Kanta. Now where is the word Ayatam?
That may be it, Satish ji. Ayatam, when you say prasaktam,
must be coveted, is it?
Yeah, ayatam is prasaktam. Prasaktam also is synonymous with karanam.
But how it become coveted, desired? It looks like kantam to me. Dhatu kam is to desire, kamyate. So kam is desire, covet. To covet is to dhatu kam. So kam will become kanta as coveted. Also become lover. Now where is the word ayatam? Ayatam. Because both of these, coveted and her lover, are both different of the word kanta only will give that. So the coveted love making or the love making of her lover, that's fine. But how do I get the word ayatam? Anyway, there's a bit of problem. I don't know what he has done, but there must be some means to say either the intense or
what is the direct meaning of ayatam? He gives the prasaktam. What is the meaning of prasaktam? Prasaktam also means
no. Prasaktam, he's talking about what prasaktam means. Very attached, very intense. See, ayatam normally means stretched out, like vyayamaha, ayam, so stretched out, very prolonged. In fact, if you look at the other book, look at Devdar's book, which I think may have not photocopied for you today, but he said the prolonged love making, which I liked. So he said, just as a bride suffers the prolonged embraces of her bridegroom, that is fine. Prolonged is ayatam, stretched out. Because ayam is stretch, stretched out. Then embrace is taken as sambhoga. And bridegroom is kantam. But here, between, I don't know, maybe because clearly this is kantam. Offered lover is kanta, definitely. No, there's no doubt about that. And the coveted also seems to be from the dhatu come to covet becomes kanta. I don't know how covered became ayatam. That is maybe perceptum. That I think is a problem. Anyway, so I would say either prolonged or intense or extremely attached, excessive, something like that. Anyway, okay. So let's stop with that. I'm sorry, a little bit over time today. For homework, you can do next sloka. I'm sorry, we went to a lot of grammar today with overtime, and thanks for your patience. But next one, you can do this one from Amar Kosha is quoting what the word samaya means. Samayaha, shapatha, achar, kala, siddhanta, samvidaha. Look up these individual words for homework. What is shapatha? What is achar? What is, of course, kala means time. Siddhanta, samvid, right? And then anything special here? Nothing really special in this sloka. Oh, this word vitena tuhu. What sutra mein Kartik vitena tuhu? How did the ekarakam Kartik? Homework for you.
Okay.
You know it? You can tell it.
No, I actually forgot the sutra. I might find it.
Okay. So next.
Lopa of the abhyasa.
Yeah, abhyasa lopa 8th one. So this is in 6.4. Okay. Homework for you. This one, this form. Of course, Bhupati is dual. Okay, let's do it next time. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Haje Ramena Vyata Nishachara Chamo